All right. You want to go, Deb, or do you want me to go?
Oh no, it's just a welcome. It seems like I just saw everybody. Like it truly does feel like it was yesterday to me that we were together on the weekend. So, yeah, just let's hear how things going. Has anything shifted? Had you thought a shift was going to happen and it didn't happen? Where are you getting stuck? What's going on? Let's go around the circle. Let's go Julia first.
Um, yeah, lots changed for sure in terms of being in my own energy. I was gonna say be back in my own energy, but I don't think it was really ever there to begin with. So I'm like more present to me. Um, and to some extent I thought my business was gonna move a little more this week, but I also just had a call with Deb and we worked some things out. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Um, but otherwise, to some extent, it's lighter. To some extent, I can sense my own intuition a lot more and I'm owning it a lot more. Um, and that's where I'm at.
Awesome.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
My sense is, Julia, you've always owned it, you just haven't shared it.
Fair.
Is that kind of fit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or very little, very with great not concern, but discernment, not sharing it. So yeah, just incorporate it. Have it all be part of you.
Yeah.
You'll be the smartest. You are the smartest person in the room often, but you'll now really be the smartest person in the room.
Not trying to be the smartest person in the room.
Oh, but you just are. Just own it. You know how intelligent you are, so just own it. Yeah. Awesome. Karen, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Successes, failures, what's happening?
Not not a lot. I'm a little tired this week. Especially Monday. Boy, I was just pretty tired. Yeah, but and I was fine with it. So I just took the day and for me and didn't do much. It was a perfect day not to do much. So I yeah, I'm working on things, I guess. It's kind of all I can. I don't know. Nothing's really shifted and but I'm much more aware.
Okay.
I catch myself, I catch myself, oh, there I go again. And then it's just being aware. So,
Hmm.
so that's huge for me.
So you all may have heard me say this in the past, but I find it really helpful is, because I don't always feel like showing up the way I kind of think I should. And so my big hammer is always, Deb, act in a manner you'll be proud of in 6 months. And
Mm.
that's often not exactly how I want to be in a situation that has me angry or, triggered in some way. But that one usually will pull me out of whatever. And even if I'm doing it grudgingly, I also know that I'm stretching my energy into something else. So, yeah.
That's good.
And Mary Lynn, how are you doing?
I'm well. I I've spent a little time um clearing space for uh movement, I guess. For after we talked, I set an intention for the company that I'm talking to make room to create that, make it happen. And he emailed me this morning and texted me this morning, so we're going to get together and that's moving forward. So
Mhm.
that's good.
Good.
Um, I've spent some time with my plants. I actually also did a meditation on myself and what is next for me. And I felt a shift within that in what I thought I had already done
Mhm.
and what's missing.
Mhm.
And is there more work for me to do, or is there just something else has to happen? And it was almost like a huge, not a weight, but it was like a something moved. And it's just something I noticed
Mhm.
while I was in it. And I almost, wow, what was that? And I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm kind of still looking at that,
Mhm. Mhm.
whatever that was, whatever is next and all that.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Can I just share because you kind of put it in the space about
sure.
so when I first went into Mel's place, was that Saturday? It must have been Saturday morning, and she mentioned this, and I went, "Oh, they're just trying to figure out how they're going to pay you." They all thought this was a good idea to hire somebody with your skill set, but now they're trying to figure out where's the money going to come from. That's all. They're, robbing budgets, and they're just trying to figure that out. And so that was what she was referring to.
Right.
The- So,
So yeah, I was just having that created for them, and that they make room for that or find room for that, and if not, come back to me with a conversation.
yeah, whatever they need. So, well,
Hmm.
awesome.
Hmm.
Very cool.
So the thing about tuning into your intuition is that it creates a space like meditation does.
Mhm.
It's increasing your skill in the art of focusing in one area, focusing your attention in one area. So meditation, you're focusing on, settling, expanding your energy. Meditation can be staring at a flower, but taking not like hard eyes, but soft eyes. In sports, they have soft eye, hard eye. So if you're out on the field in sports, if you got the soccer ball, you're on hard eye. You're going, right? But if you're out kind of figuring where your next play is going to be, you're in soft eye. So it's like looking at a flower or anything, a flame with that soft, open eye without judging or assessing what you're seeing, which allows the mind to step back, training the mind to step back to let go. So you can take in more information that the mind generally can't see. So meditation is just the art of focusing. That's all. That's all it is. So in the world of intuition, practice is the key. I mean, even if you're only doing a 5-minute meditation, whatever that looks like for you, it can be a walking meditation, but where you're focusing on the feeling that you're feeling while you're walking. You're focusing on your internal condition. It's going to increase your ability to focus in any area of your life. And when I mean focus, it's like put all of your awareness on it, all of your intention, center and expand. You're going to get a much bigger picture. So that's what the focus looks like. That's kind of how I see meditation and the practice of meditation. So I find even if I haven't done it for a while, if I'm standing at the kitchen sink and I'm like, wow, I'm feeling a little bit tense or tight, or it's like, oh yeah, you haven't meditated for a couple of days. I can stand right there and do a quick 1 or 2 minute meditation. And it brings everything all back in line.
Mhm.
So it's a skill of refocusing your focus. So I'd suggest do a little meditation every day. I know they say 10 minutes or 15 or 20. I really don't care. I find that if you do meditation enough, you kind of want to do 20 or half an hour because it feels good most of the time. But it's a practice. It's not about how you feel about it. It's about that you do the practice. and keep building on that art focus. Does that make sense? Yeah. Dixie, how do you see it? Because you do some things like I'm going to use the word ritual if you're okay. Rituals help our train our energy to be a certain way. So if you do a prayer before you eat, were you raised having to close your eyes and, and do a little prayer before you eat your meal? But in that prayer, there's a coming together. So in the ritual of it, the outcome is people come together.
Mhm.
So yeah, sorry. How about you, Dixie? What do you use as routine, or do you? You may see it.
Well, I mean, I'm trained in Reiki, so to me, it's just more. I mean, yes, I mean, growing up, it was more like we did family prayer for dinner. Um, and then for me, I just run universal energy to my plate just as I'm sitting there. I don't like do this big ritual thing, but it's just very obsolete. I just put my hands on either side of my plate and just ask for everything to be enhanced for the highest and best good for nutritious value. And be grateful and thankful for what I'm having. I mean, I use it. It's to me, everything is just a moving, walking meditation in general. Everything that I do is just more from a meditative state, from just even washing dishes. To me, it's very therapeutic, very melodic, very, soothing and cleansing. And, even just cleaning. It's for me, it's not running rampant and like rushing to get it done. It's just more of a just being in tune with my environment and with my things and just being thoughtful as I'm moving around and cleaning. To driving, I mean, I love the drive to Edmonton or even straight drives. And I may have mentioned this on the weekend too, where I'm always, to me, it's like the labyrinth. I'm always asking questions or going deeper into the insights of what is it that I need to see? What am I letting go of? What's going on in my body? Oh, I'm so tense. So I'm always having like this dialogue with myself. And then, whether it is walking a labyrinth or driving, I often drive in silence. Well, I blew out my car radio for about 6 years, and I tried to get someone to fix it. And to me, it was just a joke from spirit because I was just supposed to be in silence for 6 years. And so I learned how not to drive with distractions. And even just driving in other countries and rent car rentals, I just stopped listening to the radio. So I was just very much in tune with spirit. And it would just guide me to, oh, I need to go right here, right now. Okay. Like, where am I going? And so just really listening to those insights. And, even when I'm walking in the neighborhoods, like, do I go right or left today? And I just, as I'm walking out, and I find the most amazing experiences. It might be a new path that I hadn't experienced before. It might be to me, it's just an adventure. Every day, every opportunity is, I live at a much quieter space or pace than a lot of regular people, especially people my age. It's like two completely different paces, and I like my pace. So it's just, yeah, just kind of follow intuitive guidance in every minute. Oh, my stuff talks to me. My plants talk to me. They tell me if they want a different colored pot. They tell me if they want a different size pot. They tell me if they want to move. They tell me if they want to go to a different room. My stuff talks to me. Yeah, it's time for change. I want to go here. I want to go there. So I just play, and it's entertaining.
Okay, excellent. Well, just keep in mind, everyone, logic will only take you so far. The intellect is all based in comparing, mostly making negative evaluations. And so you're picking the best of the worst, usually. Often that's what the mind's doing. That's its job, it's supposed to. So this is about expanding into those understandings and those realizations that make you happy, that make your heart sing.
Yeah.
You usually don't find that through logic. Even if you were planning a trip, the desire to plan the trip didn't come from, it would be a good idea for me to go on a trip today. It comes from something that we want to create within our whole beautiful context of feelings. And so, that you get to go back to those basic intentions again. So, but it takes a little practice. And then the mind finally, when it realizes it can't scream loud enough to make you pay attention, it usually quiets down, which is why silent retreats work.
Mm-hmm.
Usually for me, they usually check in on a Friday for a weekend one. Set by noon Saturday, it used to be, not as much anymore. My mind would be screaming at me. And then Saturday night, Sunday it would start to calm down and it would have a really amazing Sunday. And then it would be quiet. My mind would be a lot quieter for a length of time until I let it start to build up with its noise and its judgment and its criticism and all that stuff. So training, training, training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of, I'm doing a 10-day silent meditation retreat in December from December 24th to January 4th. This is my second time doing it. So I did it 10 years ago. And it's such it's a, it's work of the mind and detoxing. And yeah, it's amazing how the chatter can get really, really loud and the war of the ego.
Especially over Christmas. I think I'd go crazy.
Not for me. Christmas isn't a big deal to me. And I did it over Christmas 10 years ago, Christmas and New Year's. So it was very cool.
Hmm.
So, what intuitive skill has been opening up for you? Is there something unusual you didn't know you could do? Or are you getting clearer about what skill you actually have, like where your talent actually lies? Is that starting to become clearer or more information around that? How are you guys doing around that? How about you, Mal? Do you wanna start? You're on mute. Mel, you're on mute.
I think that I had a reminder this weekend about softening my entry. If I'm meditating on something, with something, and if I'm like the plants or clearing space for somebody, like the ones that I have actually been doing this week, what I've realized is that it is much softer for me to to kind of play there, which gives me a whole lot more space to do that.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm noticing is that it's a lot lighter.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So and it's easier. Well, it's always been kind of easy for me to get there,
Mhm.
but now I can recognize when I just need to back off and be there
Okay.
and let that happen.
Okay. Has your intuition changed? How you receive information? Has it changed or not? I'm just curious. It doesn't need to change. I'm just wondering, has anything like that occurred for you?
No, and I had in the past I've spent some time looking for that.
Okay.
But on the on the other hand, I get that um I'm pushing to create that
Okay.
instead of having that be whatever it is, and then my recognizing that.
Okay.
So yeah, I had been looking for it in the like show me the picture or let me hear that. Hear. whatever, when I'm getting an answer, I may get it and I may feel it and know it, but I don't hear it and I don't see it. And that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. It's like I said to Julie, I think, and Karen, we were talking, and I was like, don't be subtle. I won't get that. Like right here, I need it, you know? And that's not necessarily true. And yet that's the kind of thing that I've been looking for.
Mm. Keep asking.
Yeah.
Keep asking.
Yeah.
And if you get a bit of a hit, a bit of a something, then it's like more, louder, clearer. Stand
Right.
up,
Yeah.
guys. You know,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. You want to play with me? Well, play the way I need it so it works for me too.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Just keep
Yeah.
asking.
All right. Thanks.
My experience is it goes like this. Da 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 da. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Dun da 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 da. Da da da. And then all of a sudden it'd be like all of a sudden you're on a completely different staircase. But
Mhm.
this one goes like this. And then every one of those different ways and different experiences creates another expansion for you and how you understand and how you do your work. So just know it does that, didn't it? And then it's like dun 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 da 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 da. I think most people would say that, as it's developing, kind of you want it to go faster, and there'll be times when you'll go, I wish it would slow down. I remember I went through a time when I would be driving down the street. I remember on 16th Ave once, it was in the winter, it was dark, and I'm going west on 16th, and I could see in every building. I could see what was happening in all the rooms, the people, and that it was really okay. So that went on for about, I don't know, 10 or 11 days. And I'm like, okay, I don't like that. We should stop doing whatever that is. I think I've now had enough. So we get to say, but yeah, it was so weird. I'd look at a building and it was like I could see the square where the room was, and I could see if there were people in or not, or what they were doing. It was kind of freaky. I don't know why. I look back at it, I still don't know why I had that or what created it, but I kind of went, yeah, enough. I don't like that. So we
Well,
get
I think I wonder because I know from my own experience, when I first was waking up, I was getting inundated with information. And then, I don't know, this is just kind of my experience. And then it was just felt too much. So then I started discovering that I could, wait a minute, I don't think I need to see all of these things. I don't need to know all of these things. And even when I first started working with clients, like I knew everything that was going on with every single one of my clients before I'd even leave my house for that day. And it's just like, no, I don't need to know all this stuff before they come because then my head was full and I was overwhelmed before I even got to work. So I just set intentions and contracts for myself where I only need to know what I need to know when I need to know it. So I've just been exercising those examples and same with at work. You'd walk through the hallways and it was just like, oh, like I never thought about it. I just always got like information from all the people around and knew what was going on in closed door boardrooms and knew what was going on in the company. And someone would ask me and I just wouldn't be prepared, but I'd just share. And they're like, how did you know that? Nobody's supposed to know that. I'm like, I didn't have like, how do you explain that? So I just kept saying, I don't need to know. Please just close the blinders down so I don't need to have all that information.
yeah, yeah,
But I
I
just wonder if it is time, like when we first open up to things, it's just sharpened, it's heightened. And I even remember the first time, like I felt like my hearing really got activated because I heard every single raindrop, not the rain. I heard every single drop of the rain. And that happened for quite a while. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't need to hear the drops of rain. I would just like to hear the rain, please.
Mhm.
And same with color. I started seeing technical color, like it was so sharp. And it was just one day. I crossed a bridge, and all of a sudden it was like I saw so clear and in Technicolor. It was so bright and overwhelming. So, our senses all of a sudden just sort of open up, and then we get that experience of here's what it's like to be wide open. And then maybe we can, just dampen it down over time as we explore them a little bit more.
Awesome. How about Karen? How are you? Are you finding any shifts or not? And if not, I'm going to ask you, where would you like it to go? Is there maybe something missing in the focus?
Um, yeah, there's shifts. What I like is now I've got a tool to get into that energy quickly. I like that. Um, I I had a whole bunch of stuff in my head and it's all gone. Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Oh, that's the trouble. That's why I interrupt people half the time because it comes and it goes and then it's gone.
set
And
an intention that that's smooth out and that you can maintain it.
okay,
Just set an intention to be able to hold it for as long as you need to do whatever you need to do with it.
okay. Yeah,
I have no interest in holding all the information. If I do a session with somebody, usually with 10 minutes, I've forgotten everything I said or anything they said.
yeah,
I'm good with that. I don't need to carry their stuff.
yeah.
So just ask. We can set the boundaries and parameters of our intuition. We generally can't set the speed of it growing. I think it kind of grows in the way that is right for us, but we can certainly set boundaries and make choices in and around and how it actually operates for us.
Okay. What was really interesting, what was coming up for me was, okay, you guys all work, deal with people and stuff. I don't. Like, this is all for me. It's so, yeah. So I was having some thoughts on that. Like, why am I going in this direction? Why am I being given this path when I'm not, I don't, yeah. So I was struggling a bit with some of that, but, because I kept thinking why did it take me so long to get to this whole process? Oh, shoot.
That's kind of unanswerable. That's because it did.
I know. And I know that, right? It's just that, and I have to trust that it's whatever is the reason it is, right? Like, but of course it's my mind going, I want to know why. It's that curiosity, right? But then that's what brought me to this whole process anyway. So I have to be okay with that. So
Well,
I
can't it just be for your pure enjoyment?
yes, and that's I guess yeah, because I know that's what it's for. But then when I hear everybody else talk, it feels like they're on a mission and they're helping people, and I'm just playing.
Hey, I'd be happy just to play.
I am happy just to play, but it just feels so because people start talking about, oh well, I've been doing this and this and this, and I'm like, oh well, I'm sitting on the couch and watching a bird.
Well, if I could share, Karen, me too. I mean, I live alone. I don't have clients. I'm not doing the work, but I am living my life. There's still things in my life that this touches everywhere,
That's true.
So it is all for you and everybody that you touch.
Oh, I have to share this. I just thought of this. After Sunday, we went out for dinner with my son and his family and his in-laws, and they were asking me about the course. And of course, how do you start talking with all these people about? So I just told them it was about intuition and changing belief systems that hold you back. And then, so my husband says, "Well, show him the spoon." So, because I carry it in my purse, right?
Nice.
So I pulled the spoon out because I'm thinking, okay, he's already said it, so I wasn't going to do it. But, well, my grandson took it. He's 11 years old. He took it. He was looking at it, trying to bend it around, and then Tom says, "Oh, give it back to Nan." So I took it, put it in my purse. He went home after dinner and bent a spoon.
Did he?
Yes.
Nice.
I
Nice.
don't know how he did it because I haven't seen it. I haven't talked to him. Gary just goes and takes him to school, so he has seen him and talked to him. But I thought, oh, I just got the answer. Oh yes,
And
I'm
then,
just being me, and I'm helping everybody that I connect with. Right? Yeah,
yeah,
I just love this.
yeah, yeah. I think that's hilarious. You'll have to send us a picture of us.
Yeah, no
Yeah, I'll
kidding.
have to get it because I just thought, but he's like that. Like he just says, I can do it. Like he has so much confidence, and to watch him, it's just magical. All these kids coming in right now, whoa, whoa, they're just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
They don't have to learn anything, they know it all. It's just, and they're not afraid of it, right? Like they just
Mhm.
step into it. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I heard that, I thought, whoa, this is magical.
Mhm.
I tell you that day I held him when he was first born and he looked in my eyes and he had this big smile on his face. And I thought, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
And it is. It's
I
amazing.
remember.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Anyways, so
Well, I
yeah,
think you just answered your question, Karen. And that's why, I mean, the biggest piece is why Deb and I have created this, is because it is everyday experiences.
yeah,
It's in everyday living. And just because I have clients that I live and breathe this work every minute of every day, like it's a walking activation. I play with it in every part. I play with it in my kitchen. I play with it when I'm cooking. I play with it. I mean, I talk to my printer. I mean, even my printer right now is on no ink and I'm still printing because I talk to it. And it's like my car is, I have a great relationship with my car where we become one whenever I step into it, you know? So just like you have your photography, your camera, you are intuitive. That's one of your vessels. So, everything is interchangeable. It's just how you want to play with it. Even my phone, I shared some pictures with you guys on the weekend. I enchanted my phone a long time ago. And but I never enchanted this phone, but it's just an activation that I carry within me that my camera is an extension of me and how I see the world because I see the world through magic. And I'm capturing it on film because that's how I see the world. So that's just the mirror back and the energy. So you get to be playful and creative. There
yeah,
is no end in how you can be playful and creative.
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thanks, Karen. Anything else you wanted to share?
Um, I, I don't think so, not right now.
Okay, thanks.
It'll come in and I'll butt in.
And
No, let's change that.
but come in and share your wisdom, share your excitement, your joy, and your enthusiasm. How
Well,
about
and that's what I'm learning too, is I'm learning to let go of some of those thought processes that I don't need anymore. And
Mhm.
that's going to take some time. I have to be patient with myself. So,
Only
and
if you
that's,
say so?
pardon?
I said only if you say so.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
take time. So
it's true. See, that's another, it's another thought process.
it is. Yeah,
Well,
there's a human thought, right? It takes time to heal,
Nice.
time to do this, it takes time to do that. So yeah.
But your grandson is the perfect miracle of that. He saw it, he went and did it.
yeah,
Like it's that fast. We can
yeah,
decide,
yeah. Well, and I see him all the time doing that, right? Like he's
Yeah,
constantly, he'll just make a decision and go do it, right? Like,
yeah.
and what's really amazing is if it doesn't work out the way he thought it should, he's still okay with it. Like they were playing in the city championships and they lost by 1 goal. Most of the team, I think there were only 3 guys. The rest of the team was all in tears, and he just came out of the locker room and said, "Okay, let's go." Like he understood it was a game. He understood, that can happen, and he was on to the next thing.
Mhm.
And I thought, wow, this was when he was 10. It was last year, and I thought, that's that's really, yeah. Boy, he's teaching a lot of people a lot of things. So,
Mhm.
and I get to watch that. What a
Well,
gift.
and contribute, Karen. You're showing them magic is okay.
Yeah, yeah,
You weren't told that.
yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the struggle in some of this, right? Is releasing those old thoughts of, yeah, you can't do that. This is stupid. That doesn't work, or, like all of that stuff. And I think that's why sometimes I'm so tired in the last few days, because it's just like, oh, I feel like I'm purging a lot of stuff.
Good.
Yeah, it's, you're laughing, Dixie. You know something, don't you?
Well, I think that we are though, because when we look at the weekends, like when we come together, whenever we make an appointment to come together, like Deb and I play in soul energy, and there's transformation happening within each one of you to get to the class. And you signed up for all 3. And so there has to be transformation for you to even get to the class. And then in the class, there's more transformation, and then you're still changing even between. And so there is integration. That's what this, and again, this conversation is all about the integration process. So we're unwinding, we're shedding, I mean, look at the difference between the spoon bending from the light class to the immersion class. Every single person had it way faster, way easier, quicker bends, deeper bends, more bends, spirals. I mean, everybody's was so different from the first time. There wasn't a lot of resistance.
And when you think about it, if you go out and tell the rest of the world that, oh, it's a piece of cake, it's really easy, you just kind of, imagine and you expand and you connect with it and it just does what it wants, they think you're crazy.
Absolutely.
So you're really at the cutting edge of some of this stuff.
Yeah. And your grandson took that. He saw it, he went and did it. What
Yeah.
if it could be that easy? But we are, and that's the gift of coming together. We're blowing through a lot of these belief systems that are keeping us in the rigidness and the stuckness.
Mhm.
And so then we integrate back into our lives because there is a shedding, there is a difference. Our cellular biology is changing. Like you're all different. I see it in every single one of your faces. I see it in your energetic charge. I see it in your energy bodies. Like I see it in all of you from the very first time I saw you 3 months ago, you know? So this is powerful. And it might be subtle. And it might be strong awareness for some people as well. Depends on how much awareness you have.
Yeah.
But know that you are different and you are shifting and growing and expanding. And that's why these these are intuitive exercises. Practice, play with them, find ones that you really liked and just start, just find a way to integrate it into your life. I think we haven't heard from Julia yet. Julia, do you have anything to share?
I think for me, I'm just a lot more present to how quick my intuition reads things. And to some extent, I'm actually having to like slow it down a little bit so that I can get present to it. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's just like I definitely know I'm more expanded, like even from the weekend. And yeah, I'm just like energetically letting it all move. Like my nervous system is open enough. Like even when I go to sleep these last few days, it's just like energy is just like moving through and I'm just letting it go without introducing any resistance.
Yeah.
Good.
Hmm.
If you shared with me something about reading the consciousness of someone that you didn't even know, it would be helpful for the class to hear that if you feel like sharing.
Are you talking about like from my business? That one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like my business partner sent me, there's this client who's considering, or potential client rather, who's considering joining our cohort. And he sends me her Facebook profile and I look at her profile and I'm like, oh yeah, she's like the classic inner capital client. Like when I look at her content's highly masculine, her energy is highly feminine. And so she's doing what she thinks she needs to do in marketing as opposed to like what's actually authentic to her. And like that's what we do in inner capital is get people aligned to who they are so they can build their business accordingly, listening to themselves as opposed to listening to all the noise from the external world.
Hmm.
Um, but I didn't know I was gonna pick that up. He just like sent me the profile and I was like, holy shit, like that was actually really useful to see her profile. Like I didn't know that's what I would have gotten.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And that's a skill. Not every intuitive person has the ability to read consciousness that clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just keep that in mind that that's a very unique and almost to the place of rare skill to be that clear about somebody another consciousness.
Hmm.
You have to be clear in your own to be able to do that. And you have
Right.
to work in that area for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So useful. So that's where you go, more of that, please. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Hmm.
And then you start to frame your response if somebody asks you, how do you know that? Because they're thinking you've not met the person, you know them, whatever. And so it never hurts to take a moment just to go, well, how? And say, I don't know, just my sense of them. Or, you don't have to say where you're getting your information, folks. You can, but you don't have to.
Mm.
Nor do you have to share everything you get. I want you to be really clear about that too. So well done. Well done. So now that that happened and it worked, it was helpful. Watch for more of it because probably there'll be more now of exactly that. And
Right.
that'll be, my sense is it'll be an area of focus for you for the next while. Is really clearly being able to see people's consciousness and where they're actually really at instead
Yeah.
of their potential. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been like I created a profile on online dating. And so even I'm like going through the guys and I'm like, holy shit, I can read these profiles way quicker, like way
Oh yeah.
fast. It's so weird.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What, so are you telling us that if we know of any great guys, we should head them your way?
Yeah,
I
probably.
was just going to say that could be extremely helpful. That's another business, Julia.
Right.
It's a lot of women want to know
Matchmaking.
that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Anything else that you want to share about the weekend? Anything you're like, this didn't work and I wished it had, or any wins or losses that you felt in I mean, when my guide said I've got to told me to do a little bit of work around performance anxiety right at the beginning, there's one or two very shocked faces in the room that I was looking at. But I think that was, so how are you doing in that area in comparing of yourself to others? because it's a real it's life becomes much simpler and much more magical when you're not comparing yourself to others. When you're more interested in what's going on with you and your experience and your skill and your
Right. I definitely don't, I try not to compare. There is no comparison. There absolutely is none. It's completely and utterly individual. It's all me. It's all of it is. So I just get that it would be a real mistake to start to compare or, criticize one versus the other or something like that. It's just not, doesn't make any sense.
For me, when I'm in a smaller room, I'm fine. But it's like once I get on social media and it to me sometimes feels global, that's when I'm like, oh shit.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Mine's like it's a habit that I'm learning to have more awareness with because I grew up with it. It was taught from day one, kind of, and so that was my whole world was that's how you looked at things, right? And I think that's where that was coming up, what I was talking about before, where, everybody's out working and doing stuff, and who am I, right? Why am I doing this? And instead of understanding that it doesn't matter, it's whatever it is for me, right? So I think it's just being aware that that's part of some things that I again need to or would like to let go of, and I don't need to carry them anymore. So, and sometimes I'm fine. Sometimes I'll get into that whole that whole way of being, and I don't even think about it, right? But it just depends on who puts. Sometimes somebody will push a button, and it. But I'm like I said, I'm really becoming more aware of it, so I can
Mhm.
stop myself in those tracks and say, hey, do I need this or not? So
Awesome. All right. Tell me about reading the flower exercise, folks. How was that? Did you find it easy, hard? Why are we doing this? Does anybody think they maybe framed their reading in a way that their mind could accept it? Like, what would it be like if one of the flowers had told you how to build a sailboat? You know, would that have been too crazy? Could your mind accept it? Do you think you framed your reading based on your mental framework? Just notice it. I'm just asking you to notice it because if we can step outside of those kinds of controls, I think you'll be quite amazed at what shows up and who and what can tell you what. Have you ever asked someone to answer a question for you, just intuitively invite them to come up with an answer for a question that you're having? Just intuitively. It's not forcing them, it's not manipulating them, but ask them to answer a question that you may have about them or about their life. Keep in mind that our secrets are the easiest things to read, folks. They're the things, our fears and our secrets are the easiest thing to read because it's what human beings want to get rid of, ultimately. They may be afraid to, or they don't think they can, but ultimately they're looking to get rid of those things that control their way of being, their experience of life. I'm going to give you that as an exercise to try tomorrow. If you're around people, if not, do it when you're around someone. Or you can do it remotely. Go into your meditation, expand, ask permission to talk to the person. Because if they're intuitive, they'll know. If I go looking at someone and I haven't asked any permission along the line, they usually, lots of people will feel me and they go like, and they'll be like looking directly at me, but they won't know they are. They don't know they are. But it makes people uncomfortable to be looked at when we don't know that they're doing it. Okay. So you in this exercise, you probably want to get some energetic permission and then ask if you can talk to them and ask them a question. See what happens. You can do it when they're in the room with you. You could do it remotely. Haven't you ever found that? I find it often that people answer my questions before I ever ask them.
Hmm.
They're just sharing information because that request is there. Can be very helpful because you're getting another point of view. You see, for me with my guides, it's like this, and you probably heard me talk about this, but it's imagine like you're inside of a disco ball and all the mirrors are pointing in. So it's like my guides show me this perspective and this one and give me a little information about that and about this and about the other until I make up my own mind because they're not forcing decisions on me. I'm getting to make that choice myself, but I'm intuitively getting all this different information. It's amazing when you ask people questions, what they say as an answer because of the perspective that they have, that they've developed in their life. Now I'm going to ask you to take it one step further and give it a try. Send a question out to somebody and see what comes back. See if they answer you. The more we know and understand our connection with everything and everyone, the stronger your intuition will be. And I'm going to suggest that often your life will be happier, more fulfilling. Because we're all here to express the best we can be, right? That's kind of what we're up to. And then we put all these blocks in the way. Give it a try, see what happens. And the thing that I'm clear about for myself is that I don't get any information that that person wouldn't want me to know. Like at an intuitive level, at a subconscious level, I don't get information about people that they wouldn't want me to know. I may be given a question to ask them that points to something, but that doesn't mean I have the answer for the question. Because if I did, and then I was asking questions, it becomes leading and maybe a bit manipulative. Just try it. You do it in the grocery store. You could do it at the till at Mark's with whoever's helping you. Just send them a question. See what happens. Now, it's the same as any other thing, garbage in, garbage out. So take a moment before you do it to hone the question. Okay, just take a moment to hone the question and see what happens. Or it might be they don't answer you, but the universe does somehow. Brings the answer in. And I'm telling you here right now that that starts to build a whole different level of trust in life, trust in what you're capable of, trust in what you will produce, trust in everything. Because at some level you start to know and understand that everything's available. So just notice when you're putting constraints and construction around things. Yeah, so let's move on. So we were going to do a talk to animals, I think.
Sure. Yeah, we can do we'll connect to an animal or a bird. How do you guys feel about that? So just get you to just connect into, let's take a moment and just sit there, sit back in your chair. Just close your eyes and just take 3 slow breaths. And
Does it
each
have to
breath,
be alive?
pardon,
Does it have to be alive?
it can be passed. Sure. If you want to talk to an animal that's passed over. Just see what comes forward though. Don't think about it too much. Just let me walk you through this. So just take 3 slow breaths, and every exhale, you're exhaling a little longer each time. So nice, deep and slow. And just imagine your energy softening down into the earth. Tune into your field. Bring your awareness to the sounds around you. Just simply listen without interpreting. Just simply notice the space around you. Bring your awareness into your heart center and place your left hand, over your chest and breathing into the heart space. Just nice and easy. And visualizing a warm, soft light glowing there. And say silently to yourself, I open to a gentle connection with the animal kingdom. And invite one animal's energy. Imagine a single animal approaching. It may be one you know or a symbol. It may even be one that's passed. Simply notice its shape, its color, its presence. Don't force anything. Just let it come naturally. Communicate through feeling. Animals respond to frequency, emotion, and imagery, not words. So try one of these. Send a feeling, peace, curiosity, maybe gratitude. Send an image of you sitting calmly, soft and light, and open. Send a simple intention. I am listening. Then pause. Let the animal's energy respond to whatever form it chooses. Notice a shift in sensation, a color, a thought that feels like it wasn't yours, a sense of warmth or movement. Notice the actual animal coming closer. You can ask a simple question. Keep it soft and open. For example, what guidance do you have for me today? Or what do you want me to notice? Or what energy are you bringing today? Then listen with your body, not just your mind. And see if you have any other questions that might be answered. Maybe this animal has a gift for you or a symbol that it would like to share. And when you feel like you've got an answer, you feel complete, we'll close with some gratitude. And whether you felt something or not, that's okay. And just say thank you for this connection. And visualize the animal's energy lifting and returning to its own path. And we'll take 3 deep breaths in, returning back into your body, back into the space. And open your eyes when you're ready. Did anyone get an animal?
I started getting one of the dogs that I used to have. But then when I asked a question, it was suddenly a really dark brown color pit bull that I have never owned. I don't know. And I just got protection from it. And then I sneezed because I have an allergy to cats and dogs, I think. It was funny that I sneezed. I thought, wow, do I still have that?
Interesting. Mhm.
Very cool. Very
What does
cool.
what does that represent to you, Mel? Like, if you were building your intuition dictionary, your operating manual, what does that particular animal, pit bull, mean to
For
you?
sure, um, guard dog,
Okay.
but also a tendency to violence and unpredictability.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I don't know, it could be my belief system, but I know that or I've heard they've been so inbred for years that they are quite unpredictable. And there's a lot of news stories and stuff like that, and so all of that contributes to what I think I know about them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yet there are people who own one who swear by its gentleness and, its care of kids and manner around children and things like that. But that, yeah, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, file it away. If you see it again, you go back to, you can ask why it's showing its face.
Hmm.
You can also go back to what it represents.
Yeah,
So I just have certain things that I know when I see this, it means that.
right.
And I'm sure, Dixie, you've got those too. You see this particular, if I see a knight in shining armor, you'd think that would mean that it's somebody who's going to be, protecting you and doing the valiant thing. But in my dictionary, the person in the armor is shriveled and small and afraid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've
So when
seen
I
both.
see shining armor, I'm asking questions about, like, because with my clients, or I'm wondering what they're trying to protect themselves from and what they think they need to protect. I don't see it as that they're there to protect me. So
And
it's
when I
just
see
how,
that, I think, do I need rescuing?
yeah, yeah. Because that would be a normal interpretation, right? The rescuers and protectors, and
Right.
you're right. off with a knife night into happy ever after, but that's not how I see it.
Right.
So start to keep building your dictionary. Keep building your encyclopedia.
Okay.
Well, and that's a perfect example of what I've seen in my real life. So I'm going to align my thoughts with what I know, what I think is true, versus really allowing yourself to bypass the mind and get into a deeper sense of the message. And it just takes
But
practice.
yeah, and always trust your gut, what the interpretation is. Always trust the gut first. Don't question it, just trust the gut. Okay. So
Cool. Julia or Karen, did you guys get an animal?
I got my ex's dog.
Hmm. Any insights or information?
Um, Mostly just like sending him a hug.
Mm.
He like misses me.
Aw,
oh, sweet. Yeah. So
beautiful.
here's a question for your intuition, Julia. That dog, who was that dog in another lifetime to you? Who were they?
I don't know if that's just outside of like my lexicon. Like nothing like shows up right away.
Okay. Well, just that's where the curiosity comes into play when you're doing these kinds of readings. Just get curious. And I say that because my last dog, she was almost 18 years old and she had a huge growth at the very base of her neck. Now she is a very low carriage dog, kind of like a corgi in body. So it's not like you pat them under there. I didn't even know it was there, but she was winding down and she was slow and she'd take 20 steps and have to stop and catch her breath and there's this huge tumor there. And the vet was when I took her in, the vet was like, well, we could autopsy it, we could take it out, we could do all that, but he kept saying, but she's a pretty old dog.
Mhm.
Like probably it's time. That he didn't say that, but he just coming back to, she's old and it'll be probably all in. You're looking at $2,000 to autopsy it, and then we'd have to decide, is she strong enough to handle any treatment? And then he'd go, and she's an old dog. So really, he was saying, maybe it's time. And so I ended up, I knew that. So I booked a time. I took her home for a couple of days just to be with her. And the day that I had to take her in, I was standing in my kitchen and she came around the corner and she looked up at me. And there was this man's face that was looking at me with such compassion. And I just went, like I felt like this is the one person I'd been waiting for all my life.
Mm.
And I knew that the compassion was for, she knew it was time and she was grateful for it. The fact when I took her in and put her up on the table and they put in the IV and I'm holding her. And as they put the needle in and she turned and looked at me, she gave my hand three licks and poof, she was gone.
Mm.
But I saw the face. It was a man's face. And it's like I can still recall every detail of that face. I know that man. I know that soul. I know that individual.
Mhm.
So so then I got a bunch more information about why she was with us and all of that, because she was a rescue dog.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's why I was just asking, see if anything just came quickly, because if she's missing you, you probably knew her in another lifetime, probably in a different form.
Mm.
Yeah.
Karen.
I, there's this little bunny that hangs around our house, and that's what showed up was this little bunny. And it just gave me the message of stillness and quiet. So I think I really need to listen to that. I keep getting that every time I read things or do things. It's about really, yeah, going inside.
Very cool.
I have a request.
Mhm.
Can we do that again, but with like a wild animal? Can we go to
Yeah.
ask to see a wild animal that's out in the natural habitat? I don't know. Anybody else want to do that? Is that okay? I want to. Yeah. Anyone not want to do that? Okay, perfect. You'd think I learned long enough not to ask, does anybody want to? Always ask who doesn't. Oh well. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you take us through that again. That'd be awesome. So decide, and here's why. Do you want to know why I'm asking? Last time, this is a very long time ago, and it probably was the last time I was at the zoo, and they still had elephants there. And I was by the elephant containment, and this elephant looked up at me, like just looked up and like we were looking at each other. And this elephant was started to tell me how he knew that their species was headed towards extinction. And that, like all the elephants, everyone knew that. And it was just showing how accepting and how compassionate they were at all of that, and just really realizing that the earth, where it's going, it can't sustain animals of that size anymore. And they were very aware of it and knew that they were headed towards extinction. And I just felt the peace and the understanding from this elephant. And I'm sitting up on a bank crying because this elephant's just in these. He was like, "Don't cry. This is the natural order of things." And I was like, "Okay." So that's why I kind of want to do another wild animal just for me.
Sure.
So hopefully you'll join.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So I was just going to ask a couple different questions. Do you have one of the questions, do you have any information to share about your species? Or do you want me just to ask general questions again?
No, just general is
Just the
fine.
general? Okay.
Just want to do it once with a focus on a,
Wild animal in its
yeah.
original habitat, in its natural habitat. Okay. All right. So if everyone would like to settle into stillness, close your eyes and take 3 slow breaths. And with every exhale, you're lengthening each time. And imagining your energy softening downward into the earth. Tuning into your field. Bringing your awareness to the sounds and the environment around you. If you hear any wild animals, simply listen without interpreting. If you don't hear any, imagine that they're in and around the space around you. Bring your awareness into your heart center, placing your left hand over your chest, breathing into the heart space, visualizing a warm, soft light growing there. Say silently, I open to a gentle connection with a wild animal in its natural habitat. Invite one animal in. Imagine this animal approaching, either one you know or symbolic, noticing its shape, its color, and its presence. Don't force anything, just let it come naturally. Communicate through feeling. Wild animals respond to frequency, emotion, and imagery, not words. Try one of these. Send a feeling of curiosity or gratitude. Send an image of you sitting calmly with soft light and open palms. Send a simple message or an intention. I am listening. Then pause. Let the wild animal's energy respond in whatever form it chooses. It might be a shift in sensation, a color, a thought that feels like it wasn't yours, a sense of warmth or movement, or even an actual physical animal coming closer. You can ask a simple question. Keep it soft and open. For example, what guidance do you have for me today? What do you want me to notice? What energy are you bringing? Then listen with your body, not just your mind. And if they have a gift or a symbol for you to share, be open to receiving. And you can ask, is there anything else that I need to know? And now close with the energy of gratitude. Whether you felt something or not, say thank you for this connection. Visualize the wild animal's energy lifting and returning to its own path. Taking 3 deep breaths in, bringing yourself back into your space, back into the body, back into your awareness. And open your eyes when you're ready. Cool. Anyone? Any wild animals out there?
I got a wolf,
Cool.
and its message was like, uh, sometimes you might see like a wolf alone or like that whole like lone wolf kind of metaphor, but as a wolf, they always know they're connected consciously to their pack.
Yeah. And what does that message mean for you?
Sometimes like when I'm building what I'm building, it, can feel like I'm alone in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh, I can always connect to consciousness in itself.
Yeah. Beautiful. Anyone else want to share? Karen?
I got a coyote. He comes
Ooh.
he comes up every other day or so and along the ridge behind our house. And he just said, I'm just coming up because I'm hungry.
Cool. Easy. Mel.
Got not a particular one that had a message. I had I had a lot of different images. Um, so really not any one connection. I saw a horse and a bear, um, an albino something.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
but
saw something.
nothing in particular.
That's okay. You saw something. That's good enough. Beautiful. Deb.
I saw a badger. There was when I lived south of Longview, there was a badger's den on the property, and we used to always give it a very wide berth because it was never very happy, especially with the dogs. And it was more I was more wondering what it's like to be a badger. And there was a singular focus. That word's coming up for me in the last few days, so I best have a look at it. There was like a singular focus that had this badger there strong and fearless and unafraid and not influenced by anything around them. Like the sense of accomplishment and strength was extraordinary because of this singular focus. And when I asked this badger if they're all like that, it was like, of course, like I was stupid or something. Like I got the answer was more like, how could you be so stupid? But the words were, of course. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Imagine what it would be like to live a whole life like that. That's why they're so formidable. They never would think I had a sense they don't ever think they would fail or could fail. So, they're the last thing you want to poke with a stick as a
Mm-hmm.
badger.
Oh, yeah. They're
Yeah.
resourceful. We had a lot of them on the farm.
Did you?
Yeah, badgers are so resilient and resourceful. Like they are smart. Holy smokes. They will find a way.
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
They
Yeah,
will. If you get in their way, they're not very happy.
no, for sure. Well, isn't that interesting even still? It's like, are they all the same? Well, yeah.
I thought maybe there might be variants like there is with human beings,
Yeah,
maybe, Joe down the road's pretty easy going, but I
right.
guess not.
Interesting. Very cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Good.
Yeah, any questions about that? Let animals talk to you. You'll be amazed how much they talk to you
Hmm.
if you're listening for it.
Animals know I'm a healer, so they always come to me and they take their nose and they'll put my hand exactly where the pain is. It's the wildest thing. And I went I went into my mechanic once and they were a bunch of guys and they had this dog called Princess and she was white and she had a collar and she definitely was a princess. She had her way. And she came up on the desk when all the guys left. She came up on the desk and she sat there and she took my hand and she like took her nose and moved me to where I needed to go. And then when the guys came back in to like talk to me, she left. And then as soon as the guys left, she came back up and she put her nose back to exactly where she even put her bum, like she moved her whole body and put her bum. So I mean, I have all those examples. It's just wild. Even horses. Horses come up to me, they turn their butts to me, they shimmy up, they show me exactly where they're aching or needing or have pain or whatever. So yeah, when you kind of start tuning in to nature, it's really quite cool.
Mhm. So yeah, just start talking to them, see what they
Yeah.
say. What happens? Talk to the birds, talk to the dogs, I have a similar dog like that. I had to go and get a key cut at this very specific spot. Like you can't get this particular key cut at Canadian Tire. And there's a man that was coming out of the garage with this little dog that was coming out with him. And then he said, well, you go in there, go into the office, and I'll come around and meet you. So he got the key and off he went. And I'm talking to this dog and telling him, what's it like being a guard dog? And he's really liking it. And he's doing such an amazing job guarding the place. And they're so lucky to have him. And like just praising him for his ability to be a guard dog. So he did cut the key, and then he went in back through the shop again. And while I went out to try the key in my car, I think it was my car. And here this fellow comes out again, and here's this dog comes out of the garage, stiff-legged, hackles up, like being the guard dog. And the fellow's looking at him going, he's never done that before. So I talked to him and said, just calm it down. And as soon as I said that, he did. But yeah, I mean, he was like full on being guard dog. And it's like, oops, maybe I better soften that.
That's
So
funny.
quite proud of himself after that. Had his job all figured out. It was great. So
That's really cool.
yeah. Okay. Crystal layouts, folks. Do one this month. You can do it for yourself. The only difference being from the way I did it was set an alarm, set it soft, set it with some music that you like, so that you come back and promise yourself before you go in that when you hear the alarm, you will come back out. Okay? You don't want to get stuck in that loop for any length of time. Depending on how you feel in that moment when you go to do it, maybe you'll only use half your crystals, or maybe you'll only use 3 in your drivers, but you won't do them all, or maybe you will. But set an alarm, set an intention, set the intention to come out when the alarm goes off, and then away you go.
I was going to say, one of the things you could do too is with the step-by-step process that Deb created for you, you can do a voice audio for yourself so it's in your voice, and then just play it back to yourself so you can actually listen and let yourself go through the process. Or if you just have a question, just sit with the question and see what wants to be answered and just keep asking the question and play with the drivers.
Keep in mind that even in your life, if you want something to shift, you can go into a crystal layout with the intention that it shift. Use a couple of crystals for that resonate with your business. So it might be intuition, it might be creativity. So you're going to put a crystal on the sacral or on the heart or wherever it seems like it's right. And then use your drivers to pull you in to that success, into the change, into the expansion. So you can use it for something in particular too, not just to go and talk to the archangels or the masters or whoever you want to go talk to. Use it to change a situation too. Adding that dimension of the crystal energy really makes that meditation powerful. And you might even just use one crystal. It still would be called a crystal meditation.
Absolutely.
Ask the crystal to heal you. Ask if it can. If you have anything specific going on in your body, ask it if it can do something for your eyes, your liver, your teeth, your whatever you have going on. Just ask if it can help and see what it says. It may say no. It may say, go get the other one. Okay. So that's 2 pieces of homework you now have. Who remembers the first one?
Ask a question.
Jack. Intuitively ask someone a question. You can ask somebody who's passed over too to come and bring you an answer. Kind of fun to do it with a real live speaking, walking human, but you could. You could ask somebody that's passed over to bring you an answer.
Mhm.
I was reading something the other day, and I need to do more, but I think I'm just being told to bring it up that when we think about an ancestor, like if this has been measured and evaluated scientifically, when we think of a particular, say, ancestor, our DNA starts to react to that memory. It actually wakens up part of the DNA that actually was sitting there dormant.
Mhm.
So think about, and the whole subject was about, think about a powerful ancestor that you've had. It may not be somebody you know per se, but if you have an imagination of say, a grandmother who, I'm not reading anybody by the way, but a grandmother that immigrated from Ireland from the Irish famine and what that must have been like coming over with no money and getting here and surviving and finding a husband and children and raising them, and imagine the strength of character that would take to do all that, to leave your home, leave everything you know to go off into something else, not knowing if you could or couldn't succeed. I mean, really think about it. We're not faced with those kinds of challenges here. And so the question then became in this whole conversation was we should, if we're going to do that, if we want to build the strengths of our ancestors, just by thinking about them 5 minutes a day, and they were suggesting for 10 days, brings that out in your DNA. Your DNA reacts to that. Of course, the same goes if you're thinking negatively about an ancestor. You're going to find yourself with more fear and weakness and whatever that is, because you're actually activating that. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't had time. But I think that would be a really fun exercise.
Well, Dad, that was one of the exercises I had. So I actually put it in as a ask for the lineage gifts, not the lineage pain.
Perfect.
And when tuning in, set a boundary. I connect only with healed, loving, and well aspects of the ancestors.
I
You
love
know,
it.
what strength lives in my bloodline? What gift have I forgotten? What ends with me and what continues? So there's lots of different questions that you can ask around the ancestors. But yeah, there are lots of research around that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Are we doing that tonight or not? And we doing it?
Um, I had it in as a backup.
See, I didn't know that, folks. I guess we're in tune right now. All right. Well, let's just continue on. But do use this. Use the crystal layouts. Do the exercises and watch your life change really magically. So
Mhm.
anyway, over to Dixie.
Yeah, well, I wanted to stay with the crystal pieces because we're on the crystals. So let's get to know your crystals even just a little bit better, especially if you're going to do some crystal gridding. Um, so let's just do the first one. So just reach into your bag. Don't look at the color. Just reach in and grab a crystal and just keep it in your hand closed. Don't look at it. What's the first one you grab? Don't judge it. All right, so this one's specifically around, let's guess the color. Let's guess the crystal or intuit the crystal. So even just as you're connecting with it, just get a sense of it. Does it have, does it feel warm? Does it feel cold? Does it feel sharp? Does it feel clear? Does it feel red? Does it feel pink? Does it feel like a solid color? Does it feel opaque? Does it feel like it's got multi layers in it? Do you feel like your body is relaxing with it? Does it feel tense? Does it feel light or heavy? And you can even ask, show me the color, and just see what you get. So if you want to say it out loud, what you think the color is before you look. Who wants to go first? You want to go, Carrie?
Well, what's really funny is as soon as I put this in my hand, I knew which one it was.
Hmm.
So all of that stuff, like I just knew what it was. And it is.
So which one did you have?
Citron.
Oh, very cool.
I could tell by the shape of it and the feel of it, everything. As soon as I pulled it out of the bag, I didn't look at it. I just knew what it was.
Yeah,
So
perfect. Julia or Mary Mel?
I think mine's pink.
Did you look?
Oh, and it is pretty pink, pinkish.
Ish.
Pinkish-ish?
I
Mel?
got that it was white and black. It's my black.
The
Um,
hematite.
yes. I keep thinking of a lava rock. Is what I think it. But yeah.
Very cool.
I once got to hold a piece of meteorite.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, it was bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, "Whoa," and I had to just put it down. Like I couldn't take that. It was bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody thought it was funny. I could not. And then they're like, pick it up again. I'm like, no, thanks. It
Yeah.
was so bizarre.
I did that at the Science Center once. It was a meteorite and it was like so cold and galactic. Like, wow. I went on a ride. Gone. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's kind of cool. So every crystal, like they all talk to me all the time. It's wild when I go into the crystal store, sometimes even the sheets will start to float and then they go and land into one of the boxes. So I have lots of helpers in there that I didn't even know that crystal existed. So I come home with all kinds of wonderful aspects and creations. All right, so let's do another one. So this is a story exercise. So this builds your intuition narrative. So again, just pull in a crystal. Don't look at it. Just go into your bag and pull a crystal out. I'm gonna do a different one. Just connecting in with this into this crystal. You can hold it in your field and see what you notice. You can put it out a few feet, bring it closer to you, just see kind of what you get. If you get any senses in your body. And even just bring your breath into the crystal. Breathe with the crystal for just a moment. And see if you can expand its energy field. So you can ask this crystal, if this crystal had a story, what story would it tell you? Mine's telling me a big story. It's like I was just minding my own business one day and someone just came and scooped me up. And I don't know how I got here. So what journey has it been on? What does this crystal want to teach you? What part of the body does it want to work on? What energy does this crystal support you with? Here's kind of a fun one. What season of your life does this crystal align with? You could also ask if this supports your mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, or your physical body. And then when you're ready to come out, just thank the crystal and let the energy of the crystal soften and come back to its normal state. And share anything that you got.
For me, my crystal says been on a journey, but it doesn't judge its journey. So it's allowed itself to move through the spaces it has to, or it's had to, and like the space in itself and where it came from to being here and with me. Um, but yeah, it just bees itself as its crystal without judgment. I'm like, that's a useful lesson.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. What was the crystal you got? The carnelian.
Yeah, like I don't know
Right.
what's next.
That's okay. Carnelian. I love carnelian. It's one of my favorites, actually. I should grab mine. Who wants to go next?
I got this one, the orange one. Um, it was on a beach when it was picked up. Came for years and years, it was in the water. And I'm getting that it's emotional support, um, offering clarity is what it's about. Yeah,
Super cool. Well, and that's one of the things I do know about. I love carnelian again. That's a carnelian.
again.
And it's deeply emotional, very powerful. This is one of my spheres. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Wow, that's cool.
So this
That's
one actually has a uterus, the shape of a uterus in it. I don't know if you guys can see it,
Oh yeah.
wow.
which is right on the sacral. So that's all, again, it's like all the lines of the bloodlines. Like it's called a fire agate, but it's a really, really powerful. I love carnelian. I have tons of it. But the sacral, I call it the Zaza Zoom, or the spiciness, the deliciousness of life chakra. So a lot of it is more about opening up it's our second emotional chakra. Oh yeah, there's an eyeball in there too. I don't know if you can see it there.
Wow.
They're like right there.
Oh yeah,
Anyway, super multi-dimensional. But yeah, super fun. But yeah, very deeply emotional
I
centered.
got the
So,
emotional support.
beautiful. Karen.
Hematite.
Oh, nice.
It just supports physical. That's what I got. It's from Mexico. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what he's telling me.
Doesn't matter. It's your intuition.
Um, yeah, it's just here to ground me.
Absolutely. Hematite's really powerful for grounding. So great insights. Good job. Let's see if I've got a bunch of exercises, but I'm like, what else do I want to?
Is there anything, we're coming close to ending, is there anything that we haven't done that you'd love to do? Like, do you want to connect with your guides? Curse clearing, I think that would be excellent. Let's get
Yeah, we
clean for December. Um, a remote view. Anybody got a preference? No. Dixie's choice becomes Dixie's choice.
okay. Well, I want to do the curse clearing because this one's gonna knock your socks off. If you guys are okay with that. So this one's a preamble, so it's speaking and tapping. So we're gonna you can use your left or your right hand. You can use either one, but we're gonna tap right through kind of just below the third eye, but between the eyebrows. And we're tapping here because this is actually called in Chinese medicine as our bladder exit line. And so what it does, our bladder, the energy of our bladder, very much what Deb was talking about earlier, it actually connects into our ancestors. It connects into our DNA. It connects into our bone marrow stem cells. Like we're holding on to stuff that we are conscious and unconscious of. So this is just a generalized clearing. And I was introduced to this. This was developed by a gentleman named Lee Bamer. Bamer. He's a naturopathic doctor in the US. And he developed the basics of it. And then I added my own flavor to it and kind of changed it up a bit. So I created it with a further step. So then I bring in the archangels to do a further clearing at the end as well. So Once we go through the tapping, I'll have you guys sit quietly, and then I'll bring in the angels and I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. And then we're just gonna do a massive overhaul. Are you guys ready? So, like I said the other day in the class, some people know exactly what the curse is, and others kind of have no idea. They know that they have this heaviness. They know sometimes things just don't go right in their life, or there's kind of like this lineage thing that shows up in all the women or all the men, but they don't really know the origin of it. But what I've noticed is when we do this, we're gonna do it 3 times, and it's a really powerful session. So we'll see what you notice in the end. So we're gonna take the 3 fingers. We're just gonna gently tap. So I don't want you to like smack your head. We're just gonna very gently tap. And if you get tired, you can change hands if you need to. But just keep your eyes closed so you're not watching your hand tap yourself. And I want you just to breathe very normal, very natural. And you're going to repeat these words after me. So you know what? I'm actually going to get everyone on mute. How do I put? If everyone can mute themselves and then just repeat it out loud. And now we're going to begin. So even though I sometimes have unexplained and uncomfortable sensations, and I feel foggy or groggy, or confused or overwhelmed, I am free to release negativity from every aspect of my life, body, and energy. Consciously and unconsciously, knowingly and unknowingly, through this lifetime, all lifetimes and realities. I give myself permission to find the clarity I am looking for. I totally and joyously love and accept myself. I invite peace return to me, and I know that all is well. Therefore, by the power of God, you can put in universe or creator, all curses, interference, antagonism, and repeaters are bound and defeated, and must leave me now, to return to the source, to be revealed in the truth, and absolved in the light, once and for all, right now. So be it, let it be done, and it is so. Keep tapping, and we're going to repeat again. Even though I sometimes have unexplained and uncomfortable sensations, and I feel foggy or groggy, or confused or overwhelmed, I am free to release negativity from every aspect of my life, body, and energy. Consciously, unconsciously, knowingly, and unknowingly. Through this lifetime, all lifetimes and realities. I give myself permission to find the clarity I am looking for. I totally and joyously love and accept myself. I invite peace return to me, and I know that all is well. Therefore, by the power of God, all curses, interference, antagonism, and repeaters are bound and defeated, and must leave me now. To return to the source, to be revealed in the truth, and absolved in the light. Once and for all, right now. So be it, let it be done, and it is so. We're going to do one more time. Even though I sometimes have unexplained and uncomfortable sensations, and I feel foggy or groggy, or confused or overwhelmed, I am free to release negativity from every aspect of my life, body, and energy. Consciously and unconsciously, knowingly and unknowingly, through this lifetime, all lifetimes, and realities. I give myself permission to find the clarity I am looking for. I totally and joyously love and accept myself. I invite peace return to me, and I know that all is well. Therefore, by the power of God, all curses, interference, antagonism, and repeaters are bound and defeated, and must leave me now. To return to the source, to be revealed in the truth, and absolved in the light. Once and for all, right now, so be it, let it be done, and it is so. So you can stop tapping, but keep your eyes closed. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and hold your breath comfortably, and then breathe out. We're going to do that 3 times. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. And 3rd time. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. So I just invite you to sit in this space with your palms down on your thighs. And I'm going to invite in the angels, archangels, lords of karma, the ascended masters, to assist in healing all lifetimes from the past, and ask that the energies be absolved and transmuted by the light. We're clearing the spiritual, physical, etheric fields, and we're asking for guidance. As this curse has been cleared, I see it as like a black garbage bag that's just being lifted and turned inside out. And the angels that we're calling upon for assistance as we're clearing the remnants is Archangel Metatron, represents the judgment of the divine throne, also said to be the overseer of the angel keepers of the Akashic records. Archangel Zadkiel, who works with the violet ray of transmutation ceremonial magic. He directs the angels of joy and mercy to transmute lower energies and help people to find forgiveness, diplomacy, and tolerance. Archangel Gabriel, who works with the white ray of purity, he offers guidance and helps people to find their next step in life or their divine mission. He brings joy and grace, clarity, and order into your life. He opens you up to sympathy, understanding, and generosity, and will help you purify negative emotions and beliefs which are locked in your energy system. And we're just asking these angels to pour liquid light from the crown chakra into the body, into your auric fields, expanding the energy out. Burning out any excess in the impurities. Then take 3 deep breaths, bringing your awareness back into your body. Back into the room, back into the space or class. And just opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Ooh. Does anyone want to share their experience or awareness?
For me,
Julia?
it feels a little bit more expansive.
Cool. Deb?
I'm still like,
Yeah.
so there's no thoughts really forming at the moment.
Yep, that's okay. Mel?
I was going to say light, but it's more like a little bit flighty right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah. Karen?
Just feel peaceful.
You look grounded.
Finally.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, you know what was interesting is when I was on a cruise ship with 2,000 people in the room when he did this.
Well,
And I couldn't function. I had to go lay down after. And it was such a massive clearing for me. I was like, holy cow, this was like I was shaking ice cold. And I slept for I think 3 or 4 hours, like unconscious. And then I asked him if I could use it. And like I couldn't believe how powerful it was. So I've used it in my retreats. I've used it in large groups. It was interesting because I was going to use it at Mel's, and then it didn't happen, which is fine. But I did it at Spiritwood, Deb, actually. And when I did it with the group there, the land actually got a massive clearing where it felt like there was this huge like what do you call them? Like that the grass, where they roll the grass out, sod. It was like this massive sod that rolled back off the land. Like it was profound, the clearing that happened. So I've seen it clear land, I've seen it clear people, I've seen all cultures, I've seen all kinds of weird darkness. So then what I see is at the end, and I've tried it different ways, but I just go into the curse clearing and then I call the angels in, and then it's almost like this black garbage bag just comes up off of everybody, and it's just like completely disintegrated and taken off into transmutation world, and it's gone and it's lifted. So don't be surprised. So yeah, feeling a little bit flighty, feeling a little bit like it's a deep clearing because it's right into the DNA. It's right into the bones. And that's where we carry and house a lot of these unconscious black spells, black magic, whatever. Who knows what has been cast on families or even just day-to-day stuff, right? So don't be surprised if you notice a significant change in your energy field. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I promise you, it's a pretty big one. I've seen people's lives change big time. So enjoy the journey. See what comes of it. There you go. So how's that, friending?
Very good. Thank you. That was awesome.
Mm.
So we're coming to a close, folks. Thank you for the journey. Keep going. Come join us. We've got some things that you might want to hear about. So we've set reviewer prices.
Mhm.
They're extraordinarily good.
so we
we
can keep coming.
Yes.
see.
I don't want this to end.
Good.
I think that's part of why I was so tired and so just, I, I had a bit of sadness. I didn't want it to be done.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Can I go back and ask Dixie a question? You're saying watch for energy shift or change. In what way would this impact once once I feel grounded again?
Yeah.
How would this, how do you expect or how might, what ch kind of change might I see or feel?
Everyone's different. Like some people just know that they've been housing something that they can't, like maybe they weren't able to articulate it, but all of a sudden it just feels gone. It feels different. They feel lighter. Um, it might be something that a grandmother maybe has said, "Oh, our family's always been cursed and blah blah blah." And nobody really believes it, but it's like it's funny because my mom always said stuff. Well, in our lineage, it's this. Our lineage is I don't know, she'll just throw something out because she likes to blanket things. But I'm like, that's not mine. I'm not going to own that, and yet it's still very active in my field. So just you'll notice. You may know, again, it depends on your awareness, but it's like everything that we're going through. It's just notice that your intuition might be even stronger. I mean, even the zeal point activation, I just wanted to hit on that for just a moment. When I did it with you guys, it was so cool because like I see energy and I saw it was like the full moon was activated. All of you was the same size. And I checked in and I looked and it's still the same size. So it's open. Your zeal point chakra is active and it's open, which is also going to enhance your intuitive abilities. So we're opening up portals, we're opening at your access points. So your intuition just can't help but grow. But of course, it's like anything else. The more you exercise those muscles, the stronger and more sharper you're going to get. And it might show up in belief systems. It might show up in, wow, normally I'd hold myself back in this type of environment or experience, and I just jumped in with both feet and I didn't even think about it. Like in all of our class, like we're activating you guys big time. Like this is like not for the faint of heart. You guys are forever changed. You cannot go back to the old way of being, but you're just going to keep growing from here. And it's going to take a little bit to acclimate. It's like it's no different than people going on a deep 7-day retreat. It's life changing, and then you're growing into that change. So the change is happening for you, with you, whether you're aware of it or not. But you might just notice, oh man, something that your grandchildren might say to you. Or there might be just an interaction with your family members that maybe was a little rigid before. And it's like, ooh, that was easy. Usually I'd say this, they respond like this, and there's a little bit of a rift or there's just a little bit of heaviness there. And maybe it's completely gone, and wow, that was easy. That was different. So you might just kind of sit back and say, wow, that was subtle but different. So know thyself.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Go ahead, Deb.
Yeah, no, I wanted to just thank you all, and I'm just going to ask Creator to close the energy of the circle
Yeah.
and for us so we can move back into our day. And I'm just going to ask Creator to show us all how to have a deep and restful sleep tonight. How's that?
Mm.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
And how to allow it and how to celebrate it and the juiciness of it. Just ask Creator to adjust our energy so that happens for us. Yeah, and with that, just giving thanks. Yeah, so one of the things we that Dixie and I talked about right at the beginning was building community, and how do we do that? And while we still have a few other things in the development stage when it comes to that, we created some reviewer prices, because as anybody who's done this work knows that every time you do an exercise, it's going to be different. And well, we'll be adjusting and changing, and there'll be some new things every day. So for all three, the 2 days and the weekend, 395. So that's $100 a day.
Yeah.
And then if you just want to do one of the day classes, 185. So you could come and just do the weekend, it still will be 395, but you can come and do all three for that. I charge more than that for a day session, for one session, folks. Come and join us, come and play. We don't know. This is like the inaugural reviewer price. We don't know if it'll stay there, but for sure, for those that have been participating right from the beginning, you three, thank you for trusting us and coming out. And hopefully you'll find this is something worth your while to come out and do again. So,
Okay. Thank
yeah.
you. And thank you guys both.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
You're welcome. It's been fun.
It's been wonderful. That's
So
why I
when,
say it. That's why I didn't want it to end.
It's
well,
not.
it's not ending. It's just beginning.
That's true.
Go again in January, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first date is January 24th, February 28th, and then the immersion is March 21st and 22nd. So if you want to write those dates down, and then we'll have that in communication as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'll just so you know.
Yeah. So that special pricing is just for you guys.
Yeah, just know the inaugural group is
Yeah.
just this is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we've kept you longer than we should. I acknowledge that, and I'm sure we'll all talk. How about, do you want your contact information shared between the, let's do this.
Sure.
We're going to share your contact information with you unless Nick, tomorrow, you let us know you don't want that to happen. How's that?
Okay.
Does that work? So if we don't hear from you tomorrow, then we know we can go ahead and just send it out.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thanks to the community, guys.
All right.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
sleep.
Bye.
Night.